This is Talib Karim Muhammad, and it's about 12, after 12, on election day for the primary elections. And I am recording this message because I want to just let people know what the stakes are. You know, the establishment has been just nonstop from the very beginning, letting us know who they wanted us to vote for: Kenyan McDuffie and Janeese George. And no matter what happened, from the horrible snow disaster recovery compared to what happened in New York, which had even worse snow than us, we failed from the very beginning of the election season on that note. Then there was the tax debacle, which the council had, including Janeese George, voted to decouple the tax breaks that the Trump administration had given, and pass some other spending priorities that mainly benefited, the elites. But nevertheless, that created a tax issue, making a lot of people unclear about how they were going to file their taxes. Then on top of that, there were the teen takeovers, because there was no investment in the job program that would have gotten more young people employed starting in the summer and then through the fall and the spring. So without any type of kind of investment in young people, they feel basically disconnected and not accountable to anybody. And then, of course, our long history of penalizing parents who want to hold their children accountable and discipline them, where children who know if their parents are being strict, they can call the police on the parents. Then we had the issue like the insanity that followed with respect to the killing of Brady Flowers at Jackson Reed High School. 5 weeks later, almost 6 weeks, still no arrests. Graduation was on Saturday, still no arrests. And practically everybody in the school knows what happened. Brothers and sisters, we know that DC is dead last in terms of educational outcomes, even though we spend more than any other state, if we were a state, than one in the nation. We're dead last in terms of affordability. No other state is more unaffordable than DC, except Hawaii, and we're not a state. And dead last in terms of nearly public safety, towards the bottom, despite the fact that the district tried to basically cover up the books. And but for the fact that the National Guard is here and there has been a surge in policing, DC would be just totally lawless right now. Children literally get away with murder, and they know that. And so nobody's holding them accountable. And of course, we are the only place in the country where we are compelled to pay federal taxes. Our monies are used to spend on weapons that kill children over in Iran and in Palestine and in Sudan and all over the world. And we have no say-so. So brothers and sisters, this is the reason why I am running. We have a broken system, and prayerfully, one of the first things we will do is make sure that we implement a program that picks up our children from school and makes sure that they are delivered back to school or back home every night. And if, again, our families who have to work multiple shifts won't have to worry, because the whole school day will start at 7 o'clock, pick up and returning our children safe and soundly with their homework done at 8 p.m., with exercise being completed, with food being fed, children being prepared to be greeted by the loving embrace of their families every night. That's, what we see being done. And then school being year-round, not just during the spring and fall, but again, experimental learning happening, where we are actually preparing our children for success and teaching them about not just, again, math and science and reading, but teaching them real life learning, particularly how to make a contribution in their homes. Second of all, surging fathers in the lives of our children, even if the mother and father break up, which we plan to promote marriage and promote counseling that keeps marriages together. But even if that happens, to make sure that the father is a part of the village that is able to impart valuable lessons, and particularly discipline, upon his children. This is, again, something I know firsthand, because I've seen it happen to my own children. And second of all, we want to increase the numbers of law enforcement in our community by merging the fire, EMS, and police departments and the violence interruption all into one single force. Training our public safety officers in a way where they can be dual use, and we won't have the, again, outrageous overtime because we can't hire enough people in one area. In addition, we want to make sure that we have a universal basic income app that can reward parents and workers for doing the work of the family first, and then supplement their income up to $2,000 for being valuable members of our community. Third of all, we're going to end the tax scam on seniors in particular by capping their taxes at the rates that they find themselves at the age of 60. So there won't be any tax increases after 60, either on property taxes or personal taxes. No tax increases for any senior. They deserve to be honored in their last years of their life and not, again, burdened. We want to honor our seniors. Next, we're going to eliminate the tax sales on personal property. Instead, we created a land bank where DC invests in those homes to make sure that the homes stay in the family. Lastly, we're going to invest also in our small businesses by requiring that every contract in the District of Columbia has at least a 50% partnership towards that particular contract with a local business, small business in particular. Then in addition to that, and literally over 80% of all businesses in DC are small businesses. So that's shouldn't be a big problem to accomplish. And then last, we're going to invest no less than $500 million to make DC a state, not sometime in the future, but now that we first take office, this will be the number one priority to make sure that DC is a state so we can get back that money that we're losing. And we're building a movement now. In fact, over the summer, during this whole celebration of the 250th anniversary, we plan to be building on this issue of particularly statehood. And what better time to do that than now? So this is the reason why I'm sending this message right now. And this is what's at stake, and this is the reason why you should protest the primaries tomorrow. Don't vote for any of the mayoral candidates. Instead, save your vote and make a donation of $40 or more to Talib, TALIBFORDC.com. Let us make DC safe. Let us make DC affordable. Let's make DC free. And let us return to the day where we stop worshiping money, stop worshiping social media followers, stop worshiping our cars, our titles, but return to the day where we are committed and devoted to the one who creates all things. That's the Almighty himself. And that is my message. Talib Karim Muhammad, November 3rd. Let's make DC safe, affordable, free. Peace.